Good morning, this is Dr. Beck here at LifePoint Medical. I want to give you my daily update and tell you what's going on here. It is October the 12th. We're up and running, doing our thing this morning. We want to hear from you if you need us, okay? I want to go ahead, I want to throw at you some more information this morning, something that affects lots and lots of people. It's called osteoporosis. And the main reason I'm going over this is because I've reviewed about 10 bone densities this morning that I had done recently on some of my patients. So let's talk about osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is the degradation of your bone matrix or the density of bone that you have that declines over time. And it's primarily related to age, but I think the age component of it is also somewhat related to hormone status. I think those are intertwined. But osteoporosis is more prevalent in women than it is men. And why I care about it is, first of all, fractures are a huge cause of problems as you get older. And falls and fractures, we know it affects people's lives, and it affects how how long they live sometimes. Okay, so I have to deal with fractures and bones and people getting hurt every single day. So we do pay attention to osteoporosis, and we use an instrument called a bone densometer to measure your bone density. And what we do is we measure your bone density against somebody that is your age, or no, it's 28, because 28 is considered the peak of your bone density in your lifetime, and then it declines after the age of 28. It's maximum of 28. It's just how quickly it declines is what we try to stop. And so we screen everybody for this using that bone density. And what it does is it usually looks at your spine, lower spine, and it looks at your hips, either hip, and it gives us a score. It's called a T-score. And again, this T-score is a score that's compared to what you would be at 28 years old. And then if it's off by negative 2.5 or 2.5 standard deviations from the mean, that means that you have a pathological osteoporosis, and you're thus increased risk of having a fall with a fracture, or having a fracture and then a fall, because that happens too. There is treatments for it. It's a little controversial, but we do Fosamax. That's a once-a-week pill. That's old. It's generic, so it's readily available, and it's affordable for people. And then you got some of the better treatments nowadays where they're doing IV infusions either once a year or twice a year, and those work really good too. I have consistently treated people for osteoporosis throughout the years. There is one little issue that they have having to do with your jawbone that can sometimes happen with people. It's pretty rare, but it does happen. So that's one thing we have to take into account. But the reason I care about it, and the real reason we care about osteoporosis, is because we know that is a long bone or a bone fracture at an advanced age or advanced level of wisdom always has a bad effect on people, and it sometimes speeds up their death. So we care about it, we look for it, and we treat it as appropriately as we can. And so we'll bring this up to you at your next wellness, and this is what we're talking about, is osteoporosis. And remember, the best fracture you can ever have is the one you avoided. Okay? All right, enough on that today. Let's talk about COVID-19. 2,048 cases, which is same as yesterday. Okay, so hopefully this thing is maxed out and we're done with it. I don't think it's going to be that nice or that good for us, but I just hope and pray that it does, just like I do every single day. Just keep your guard. If you think you got the COVID, remember, we want to hear from you. We want to help you with it. I realize treatments and everything like that are controversial, but that's something you and I can talk about, and we'll make a decision ourselves if you do end up, unfortunately, having this virus. Okay? Otherwise, we're up and running. Place of Hope is doing well. They're out there looking for ways to help people right at this minute, and that is such a wonderful thing. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day. and call us if you need us, okay? Thank you.